This scene is a face-off between Billy Kimber and Tommy Shelby and his brothers. They are both big men again, but Billy Kimber is slightly, less because he has a huge ego and he doesn't know how to deal with it. But you will see that in the clip now. Enjoy.
Is there any man here named Shelby? I said, is there any man here named Shelby?
Look at Tommy. Instantly, the first thing he does is lock eye contact with him. Just instantly looking him in the eyes. This is Billy Kimber. He has a great reputation. He's a criminal. He's very influential, but Tommy's not scared. He instantly locks eye contact with him, showing him that he's just not afraid and unbothered. But then also, right after that, 2 seconds eye contact, but then just looking away, because he doesn't want to give him that much attention. If he would just stand there looking at him the whole time, he would just give up his attention too easily. So he now stops giving him eye contact, turns his body away, turns his face away, so he doesn't, get a big ego right off the bat.
How to get these men a drink? Everyone up.
You can also see how his brother is looking down. Okay? This is not good. The best thing you can do in this situation is, like Tommy did, have short eye contact and then just looking away. Because Billy Kimber is looking at each one of them, having eye contact, but his brother is just looking down, which is a sign of submission, which you definitely don't want to happen.
How to get these men a drink? Everyone else go home.
And then also have a look how he gestures.
How to get these men a drink? Everyone else go.
Here, gesture, and then instantly everyone starts to move as soon as the big man comes in and tells him what to do. One command and everyone stands up and goes home. That's a clear command that just shows that he's the boss in here. He's the big man. Everyone listens to him.
Go home.
Have a look at how slow Tommy turns. Just look at it. Right there. That's a very, very slow turn. That's like a 3-second turn. Everyone could have done that in like half a second, but he just takes his time. Tommy always moves at his own pace. Although he could be nervous, starts moving faster because there's someone dangerous in his territory. He moves slowly at his own pace, turning around slowly. Big men always move at their own pace. They don't get told when to move and how fast to move. They just move at their own pace. That's very important.
You go on.
Here, also have a look. Again, another command. Eye contact first, making sure that she knows that he's talking to her. And then this gesture. See if I can catch it. Right there. This is a very commanding gesture, but it's not really a good way to tell somebody what to do because it's often seen as negative. What you can do if basically the same meaning is just having your hand completely open, but in the same angle. Just all, like this. This is the hand open thing is seen as more positive, but in this case, he just wants to demonstrate to him that he's the boss and everyone listens to what he says, which they always do. And this is a great way to just, if you're talking to someone, you want something from someone, point at them with your whole hand to make it more positive if you want, and just tell them what to do. They're more likely to do it. And also what you can see here is this man, how his arms are right here. this is usually so he doesn't take up so much space, which is not good. You know, you should want to take up more space, a lot of space, so you just seem confident. But what he's doing is he's protecting his vital organs right here. Looks like a, I don't know, looks like a something. I'm drawing shit. But he's protecting his vital organs, which is a behavior, which is a sign that he's just not really comfortable and he doesn't really, he's just in a protective mode. He's just ready to protect himself. He's not really liking this guy or these guys here, which is obvious because they're intimidating him. And that's what this pose means.
You go on. Let's go on.
Also here, look at how he commands the second time. He told her what to do, and she still feels the need to, explain herself or something. And he doesn't even look at her.
You go on. Let's go on.
Look, he doesn't even look. He tells her what to do again, but he's not holding eye contact because he just shows her that was his word, that was what he said, and she should listen because otherwise she won't get attention from him.
I've never approved of women in pubs, but when they look like that...
It says wanted men called shelby.
Also here, just change of topics.
It says wanted men called shelby. You've got 3 of them.
People could be intimidated. He was talking about the woman. He could have been, oh yeah, it's a beautiful woman, right? But that would be pointless. So he just changes the topic. He wants to get over with the conversation. And that's also a very big man thing to do. Big men are always dictating what the people around them are talking about, okay?
Well, I never heard of you. And then I did hear of you, some little diddy coy razor gang. I thought to myself, so what? But then you fucked me over. So now you have my undivided attention. By the way, which one am I talking to? Who's the boss?
Now look at that. How he's basically with that, how he moved was like, he looked at Tommy with those questioning eyes like, should I talk? Should I say something now? He kind of asked for permission to say something. He will now, look at that.
But I'm the oldest.
Now he raises his chin. Now he's confident, loud, while eye contact. That's a good way to do it, but he can clearly see how although he says that he's the oldest and, the leader of the group or something, you can see how he first had to ask Tommy for permission because Tommy's the big man in this, not Arthur. And you can also see how Tommy reacts to his ask for permission.
Who am I talking to? Who's the boss?
Right there, look. Tommy doesn't completely turn his head because before he always just locked eye contact with him. And now that's the first time where he breaks eye contact just to have a quick glance at him. Kind of like so Arthur's asking him for permission and Tommy's like, with this eye contact, he's like, yeah, go ahead. And then that's when Arthur starts to move. And also you can see how this guy straight up locked eye contact with him. He is definitely a madman. He could be a big man potentially as well, but he's definitely ready to step in just in case.
But I'm the oldest.
Clearly.
So this is obvious, a big sign of disrespect, how he just has this little, kind of laugh he does.
Clearly.
Like he's just absolutely not respecting Arthur. That's just, if someone does that to you, you just want either to show them that, you're not alright with that. You just, I don't know, just make it calm, but don't get emotional with it, but just show that you're like, what the fuck, why are you laughing at me? What's funny about that?
You laugh at my brother.
Look right here, that's probably one of the coolest parts in the scene. Instantly stepped in, protecting his brother.
Clearly.
You laugh at...
Instantly, strong eye contact. I laughing at my brother. It's just, you can just see that these guys are definitely, good brothers, they just instantly step in as soon as one gets disrespected.
For my brother.
You can just see how his face drops and he's just like, okay, wow, these guys are serious.
Right, easy, eldest. You're
And then again, here you can see the finger pointing.
right, easy, eldest.
You know, that's a very, very aggressive move. You don't want finger point usually. So in this case, it's even more aggressive than before because now it's not commanding. Now it's just like disrespectful because nobody likes to be pointed at, and he's just pointing through the room, pointing at everyone. He definitely wants to show that he's a big man, that he's a man.
You're the
And you can also see while they are all locking eye contact, especially Tommy. Tommy, I think the only time he looked away was when he looked at Arthur a short time. But everyone's looking extremely. Everyone's staring at the guy. You know, you can just see. He has their full attention, but they don't look like they're, happy. Even the guys in the back, everyone's in this scene part right now is just looking at him. They're not happy about him pointing at them, being disrespectful.
Vickies. I'm told the boss is called Tommy, and I'm guessing that's you. Because you're looking me up and down like I'm a fucking tart.
You could already see how he's just kind of losing his cool already. It was Tommy didn't even need to do anything really. Their brothers didn't really do anything. He just has a fragile ego, I think. So this man is, you can use that. He's definitely not a stoic man. He loses his cool very, very fast, and you can easily use it against him. And that's very, very dumb. Never be like him. Never just go off in a few minutes. Never go off really. Just stay stoic. Have your emotions under control, like Tommy does all the time. And that's just a better way to do because they will probably use that against him eventually. It's just not a good look for him.
Guessing that's you. Because you're looking me up and down like I'm a fucking tart.
Look at that. That's just the face of, he's just unbothered. He's unfazed. He doesn't care. They're just no emotions again. That's just what Tommy's the best at. You know, this man, Billy is just getting emotional all over the place, screaming around, pointing finger, getting aggressive, and Tommy's just not caring. He has strong eye contact the whole time. No emotions though. No emotions.
I want to know what you want.
And also, look at the pause.
I'm a fucking tart.
Look at that. It's like 3 seconds of just eye contact. You know, kind of. He looks like, okay, you're not a real opponent. You have great influence over other people, but you're obviously not really well developed if you go off like that in just a few minutes. And, you know, he's just staying cool, moving at his own pace again, taking his time to answer things. You're not using full words, not saying, yeah, so I'm Tommy. He just thinks and waits and then has a smart answer that helps the conversation go.
I want to know what you want. There were suspicious betting patterns.
Here again, you can see basically the same behavior as Arthur did with Tommy. Just now that he's doing it with him and Billy's not even looking to him because it's obvious to him that he's just submissive in their relationship. Look, first having the look of, can I talk? Is that, am I allowed to talk now? And then starting to talk. So you can see on this side, it's obviously him being the boss. The other side, it's obviously being Tommy, who's the big man. Now it's just basically a fight between those two, but Billy doesn't really stand a chance against Tommy. Let's be honest. If you go off with your emotions like in 2 minutes or 3 minutes already, he lost the conversation. Okay? As soon as you let your emotions have control over you, you basically lose the conversation. If you start screaming around, there's just no one respecting you and everyone will use it against you because it's just easy to make you, explode like a volcano.
There were suspicious betting patterns at Kempton Park, a horse called Monaghan Boy. He won by length twice.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Look at Billy.
And Boy,
You know, he's doing something with his hands. He's kind of, you know, making them to a fist and then, you know, clinching them. I think, you know, that means that he's, you know, he's ready to box. You know, he's aggressive, he's mad. You know, it's surely, it's obviously getting on his nerves, and he's ready to just go off. You know, his motions have now reached his hands. He's fidgeting around. He's obviously aggressive and definitely bothers that they are unbothered. That's probably what bothers him most.
He won by a length twice.
And also his face. Look at his face. A lot of frowning here. This mouth is going down. Here are things happening. He was frowning. It's also another sign of aggressive, just gestures and facial expression.
Kempton Park, a horse called Monaghan Boy.
Look at his face now.
He won by a length twice and then finished.
He looks a bit like he has a stroke, but you know, his mouth is going up and down. His face, he's just mad. You know, that's what his facial expression says about him.
Last.
And then, in comparison, Tommy, there's just nothing happening. No thrones, no aggressive behavior. He's just chilling, cigarette in the hand. He's just unbothered.
£1,000 bet on him. That's what am I talking to?
Now he uses the question against them. He obviously knows that Billy's the boss, or probably already before they even stepped in, and now also with the submissive behavior of his partner there, he knows that he's the boss, that he's the big man in their group, but he doesn't care. He uses the question against them. It's a very, very great way to just be dominant.
Which one of you was the boss? I'm Mr. Kimmer's advisor and accountant. And I'm the fucking boss!
And now you can see how he just goes off. He just completely loses his control. That's probably also the point where he loses the conversation.
I'm Mr. Kimmer's advisor and accountant.
And now also the way he stands up is very, very big man again. He obviously has confidence and self-pride, but he's using up the biggest space possible to stand up. You know what people do when, for example, if Arthur would stand up now and he's a very, very big man, what he would do is he would grab here on the table, take up as much space as possible. And that's just a big man way to do stand up. And in his way, he only has a chair right here, so that's the biggest way he can get. But you know, if big men just stand up, they use up a lot of space. And you can also see how he just completely goes off.
I'm the fucking boss, okay? Right.
You know, looking down at them, proper aggressive.
Advisor and accountant.
And I'm the fucking boss, so...
You know, right here, also a lot of frowning, obviously aggressive, looking down at him, staring, you know, completely doesn't understand how wouldn't know that he's the boss. No, it's just, his emotions not under control. He absolutely does not.
Okay, right, end of parley. You fixed the race without my permission.
Again, finger pointing here.
Fucking boss, okay? Right, end of parley. You fixed the
Aggressive finger pointing, you know, just dominance right there.
race without my permission. You fucking gypsy scum.
Also, how much he's looking around with his head. His head is just...
Without my permission.
Look how his head is just going places.
Boss, okay? Right, end of parley. You fixed the race without my permission.
Look at that. He was like there. He's just starting to fidget. He's nervous. He's aggressive. He's in the mood to fight. He's just mad. Also, with his eyebrows raised, his eyes are opened widely. That's just the look of aggression right there. And also, again, a lot of frowning in his mouth area and his, you know, here forehead. He's just aggressive. But you can hear it in his tone. But even if he wouldn't talk now, you'd see that he's aggressive.
Fucking gypsy scum. What live off the war pensions and these poor old Garrison Lane widows? That's your level.
And then just the other guy, bro. Tommy's just...
Garrison Lane widows? That's your level.
Look at that. He does not care, bro. He's just emotionally unaffected. Look at that. Still piercing through him with his eyes, but doesn't care at all. Unbothered, unfazed. This man's just taking off, man. You could easily be intimidated or scared now, but he's not. Or maybe he is, but you can't see it.
I and Billy Kimber. I run the races.
You know, here I'm Billy Kimber.
I and Billy Kimber. I run the...
Also here, he just pointed himself. He's obviously aggressive. He's also having that's probably just a confrontational stance right here. He like the other guy's protecting his vital organs right here, trying to, in case be protecting them. He's just having everyone could just punch him in the stomach right now. He's obviously very confrontational right now. That's confrontational stance. Also looking around the room, having eye contact with everyone, loud and clear, open his mouth, just be loud. This man is mad, and he does not have his emotions under control. And you can see how he's looking down. He's the submissive guy here. Yeah.
The races, and you fixed one of them, so I'm going to have you shot against the post.
Here you can see. Have a look at the faces of his brother.
So I'm going to have you shot against the post.
No, everyone except of Tommy. Tommy has his eyes closed right now, but they are both looking down. They're both intimidated. They're both submissive. It's never good to look down. Tommy was, if he would have his eyes still open, he's blinking right now. He's still looking at them. He doesn't look down because he knows that it's dumb. Looking down just makes him seem as the big man. And he does not give his position of the big man away, even though it's a very, very dangerous situation for him.
Mr. Kimber. Look at this.
Again, a command. Obviously, he listens to it because it's important for him right now and he's interested, but everyone just listens to Tommy's command because he only talks when it's appropriate and when he has something to say. He doesn't use full words. If you use full words and then try to command someone, you're always talking all over the place, just blah 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 blah. Your commands just will seem less important. And that's why everyone's listening to Tommy, because if he talks, then it's important.
That is my name, and it's from the Lee family.
Straight eye contact. It's a dangerous situation for him. His life is on the line. Straight eye contact still, talking to him. Great posture, upright posture. Although he's not really, his body is not turned towards him, his body is turned away, so he's not giving his full attention away. But you could just see how great his body language is.
You were also at Waterloos, Mr. Kimber, am I right?
And also how he's going down with his tone. Am I right? Always going down. Starting up here, going down. Or probably he's starting here. Always go down with your voice. If it's a sentence. If it's a question, you obviously will go up. You're asking something. No, you always go up. But if you have something to say and it's a normal sentence, go lower your voice. That just seems way more confident, way more self-assured, and he's just sure about his confidence, his dominance here, and he knows that he's the big man really. And here you can see how Billy Kimber is just stepping forward. He doesn't say anything, but just the way that he's stepping towards Tommy just shows that he's interested in what Tommy now says, and that shows that Tommy knows what's affecting Billy Kimber, because he just used the Lee family, which are obviously something of value for him. So now that he's interested, he's stepping forward. That's also interesting.
Police are attacking your bookies and taking your money. Your men can't control them. You need help.
Here you can see that he's slightly nervous with his, just look at that area. Asking an influential man who's willing to kill, that just telling him that he needs his help. It's a very bold move. So that's probably why he's, having this movement here. That just shows that he's slightly nervous or slightly unsure if that's the right move and if Billy Kimber will jump on it or not.
Perhaps we should listen to what Mr. Shelby has to say before we make our decisions.
You can also see how fast he speaks.
Before we make our decisions.
So he obviously doesn't have a lot of time. You know, people don't listen to him so much. So he just tries to fill the time when he can talk, he tries to fill it as fast as he can. So everyone has to listen to him. But that's just not good. That's a sign of submissive behavior right there. Here you can see a lot of facial expressions from Tommy. Have a look at his face.
I'm doing a lot of talking at the fairs.
No, raising his eyebrows. Raising your eyebrows is also a sign of scared, just anxiousness. But in this case, it's not, because raising your eyebrows can have different meanings. In this case, he probably tries to just bring his message across just better. That's why he's raising his eyebrows. Don't get it mixed up. You know, you could just be like, okay, now he's raising his eyebrows. That means he's scared. That's not true. It really depends on the situation. And also, you'll see movement here. He's now using his facial expression to just bring his message across better.
They have a lot of kin. They're saying the racetracks are easy meat because the police are busy with strikes. Now, we have connections. We know how they operate. You have...
Here, the gesture.
We know how they operate. You.
Look here. The gesture right in his direction. You know, he's like, okay, I'm interested. Palm up is not really a good thing. Or in this case, probably he wants to seem submissive a bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Because usually this is a sign of submissive behavior. If you use your hand to talk at someone, you want to point with your whole hand, but in like this sideways motion, as I mentioned earlier. This is a really submissive behavior if you have your hands faced upwards. But in this case, it's helping Tommy because he was ready to kill him, okay? He was telling his bodyguards to just shoot them. That's why he's, kind of petting his ego here. Just being a little bit more submissive and on purpose giving up his role as the big man, so he can, be like, oh yeah, I'm the big man here, I have my ego, just so Tommy doesn't die, his brother doesn't die, and he just gets the deal done.
Have muscle. Together we can beat them, divided, maybe not.
Also, look at his gesture here at the table. He has his right widely crossed. That's also a sign of confidence, right here. But still, he's not even looking down to... Most people with their gesture, they look at their gestures so they see what they look like. He just keeps holding eye contact the whole time. He's not even breaking it once. It's very interesting. Also, you can see his brother again looking down. It's not really a good look for these two here. They just all the time looking down. So you can clearly see that they just depend on Tommy if he just gets the deal done. Because if he won't, they definitely won't neither. So it's really depending on Tommy here.
Leave them divided, maybe not. Mr. Kimber, perhaps we should take some time for reflection, possibly.
Also, both not breaking eye contact. Billy Kimber is neither breaking eye contact. He's just still looking. Okay? These are both big men. The only problem with Billy Kimber is that he doesn't have this emotion under control and that he's a huge ego, which Tommy can use for his advantage because they are obviously, Billy Kimber is being very dangerous right now. But Tommy can use it to his advantage. You can also see, he's still holding eye contact. He's not scared. Just because he's using submissive behaviors, submissive gestures, doesn't mean that he's submissive in general. He's still the big man, but he just gives up his role on purpose. So Billy Kimber is just, happy with his ego and stuff. Now, even more, look at that, what he's doing now. Now he's really, really petting his ego now.
You started with nothing.
just, just all your accomplishments are so well done, good job you did. Everyone loves when someone just gives them a feel of accomplishment. They done a great job, everyone loves it. So he's just really petting Billy's ego right here. And he uses the big ego of Billy just for his advantage. It's very well done of Tommy.
It would be an honor
Look at that. That's just petting the ego at its best.
to work with you, Mr. Kimber.
You can see, clearly see how he's, I like what he's saying now, mouth open. He's like, okay, I enjoy that you, pet my ego a little.
Nobody works with me. People work for me.
And now again, showing off his ego. He's so great. Look at me.
Pick it up, Pikey.
That's probably one of the most disrespectful things you can do. He's clearly showing off his assertive dominance right here. His, just his position in the conversation, which Tommy gave up on purpose, but still he just wants, now that he got the position, he wants to show it off. He wants to have Tommy just get down on his knees and pick up the penny. It's dirty, but that's how you handle dudes with big ego who have the better position in the conversation, and who also, have weapons. Maybe you should pet their ego instead of trying to fight them. You can also clearly see how long he uses. He's clearly thinking about his action. Now he thinks if it, the first reaction of him would probably be like, okay, no, that's too much. Now you cross the line. I don't accept this. You got the position for free, but I don't, having to, get down on your knees, picking up a penny, that's a lot to ask for, right? You can also see how he's really kind of stressed, fidgeting around with his hand here. Also still holding eye contact. Tommy's thinking about if he really should do that now, but it's probably the smartest decision in this case.
Sit down.
Again, command, making himself big with his gesture, pointing again. He wants something from him, so he points at him, make himself big also. He's not really submissive, but he just has to be in this case. He's getting forced to just to survive and get the deal done. And he uses it. It's the smartest thing he could do. I don't tell you to be submissive in normal cases in your life. But if you are in that kind of situation, maybe your boss or something, just see that petting the ego of someone to get yourself better at the end of the day, maybe you should do it.
See you soon.
Thank you, Mr. Kimber.
Again, petting his ego. Thank you, Mr. Kimber. Although he just violated his respect.